Ladies and gentlemen, over the past week or so, we have talked a whole bunch about Black Ops Cold War, and don't worry, there's going to be plenty more Black Ops Cold War videos coming. However, today I thought we would take a step back and dive back into Modern Warfare, Warzone, all of that kind of stuff, and talk about what is coming next, specifically talking about Season 6. So right around the corner, a couple of weeks away, we have Season 6 coming out for Modern Warfare, and with a new season comes a new battle pass, new characters, new maps, new weapons, and we actually have quite a bit of information as to what are all of these new things coming. Now, we're missing a few things like multiplayer maps. We don't have a ton of information on that. However, everything else we have quite a substantial amount of information on, even some in-game images of some things that are confirmed to be coming. So what I thought I would do is put it all together into one video and talk about everything that we know about Season 6. Now, real quick before we dive into Season 6, I just wanted to let you guys know that pretty much every single night this week at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, I'm going to be streaming over on Twitch. If you want to check it out, it's always the first link down below. We're going to be doing things like playing Warzone games. I'm actually decided to go for Damascus. There's no better time than 10 months late, if you ask me. So if you want to check out the stream, first link down below, and hopefully I see you there one of the nights this week. So starting out with the operators, generally speaking, at the beginning of a season, we get one title character, and then halfway through, we get another character. As of right now, it seems as though the title character for Season 6 is going to be Farah Karim, who is one of the main characters in the campaign. We've talked about her before. I have a full video on her. If you want to check it out, I'll link it down in the description. But as far as Farah goes, she's a great character, and it appears as though she's actually going to be a big part of Season 6, because with the cutscene, apparently the cutscene is going to be her speaking with Nikolai. Now, we don't know what that conversation is, what it relates to, but it appears as though she is definitely going to be the title character. Now, the one thing that many of you may be wondering is where the hell is Soap? Now, there are no game files for Soap McTavish, other than him being in that final cutscene at the end of the game and Captain Price talking about him. There is no game files for him. So, what this tells me, and I'm going to talk about this more in a future video when I'm going to talk about some predictions, what I think is going to happen with the next couple Call of Duty games. But as far as what I think is going to happen with Soap, remember how right at the beginning of the year, the big reveal is that Modern Warfare was getting rebooted and Captain Price was going to be the main title character and it zoomed in on him? I think they're going to do a very similar thing with Modern Warfare 2. Soap will be the main character of that game. It'll zoom in on him right at the beginning. Maybe he'll be smoking a stogie like Captain Price is, and boom, Bob's your uncle. But I mean, that's just a theory, so we gotta wait and see. Next up, moving into weapons. So there are 3 weapons with a lot of game files currently in the game. So the first one we've talked about many times before, and that is the R700. It kind of looks a little bit like an intervention from Modern Warfare 2, but I believe it's going to be called the R700. We'll have to wait and see, but everyone's been waiting for another bolt-action sniper rifle. As we know, the Rytech wasn't really what people were looking for, so hopefully the R700 kind of comes in and tickles everyone's fancy. The second one, again, there is leaked gameplay of all 3 of these guns that we're talking about today, but the second gun is the AA-12, which is of course a fully automatic shotgun, which could be a big pain in the ass in Warzone. Right now the Origin 12 is pretty ridiculous, and that's pretty much as close as we get to that, so it's going to be interesting once this one comes in. Maybe the AA-12 kind of takes over that Origin spot. It's going to be interesting to see. And then the final one that we have is a new assault rifle called the AS-Val. Now the AS-Val is a weapon that has been, I believe, in Tarkov. That's probably where it's been the biggest, but I'm sure it's been in other games as well. The interesting thing about this weapon is it has a built-in suppressor, kind of like the Honey Badger from Call of Duty Ghost. And with this gun, since you have a built-in suppressor, it's going to make it easier to kind of trick out your weapon with a bunch of different attachments and play your way. Also, this thing has a really fast rate of fire. In real life, I believe it's around 900 RPM, which if you put it in this game, it might even be higher than that. And we don't really have a ton of really fast firing assault rifles other than, I guess, the M13 is probably the highest one. So it's going to be interesting to see where this falls into the game. It might end up being really good. I could see it being really good in multiplayer and just kind of average in Warzone. But we'll have to wait and see. Definitely 3 weapons. Those, I think, are going to be all 3 of the weapons coming throughout Season 6. Which 2 we get first, that we'll have to wait and see. So Warzone, we have a few things that we know are coming to Warzone, or at least we think are coming to Warzone. The first of which, as you could tell by that little intermission there, is night mode inside Warzone. So this is not an actual in-game image that you are seeing here. I had this made for me by Ripley. Thank you, Ripley. And basically, this similar image already exists as a data mined file in-game. It's not this one. This is not it. This was fan-made, not a real image. But there are images out there. If you Google them, you can find them really, really easily. And it's been a rumor for a while that this is actually going to be coming to Warzone. Now, a couple of days ago, I believe someone data mined and found some Alcatraz files inside Warzone. Now, if you played Blackout, you'll know that Alcatraz was a map that they added in later. Essentially, you had 5 lives. It was a really fast-paced map. Apparently, that might be coming back. I would be pretty surprised if it did, but apparently there are some files in the game for it. Interesting. I don't think that's going to be coming anytime soon. I just thought I would throw it in there. The second thing that we have, though, that is pretty much guaranteed to be coming is metro stations. So in the last piece of Warzone intel, they very briefly talked about the metro stations. You had to go find a camera near them, and the metro stations are coming into play. There's also leaked intel of a map with different metro stations as well. This is kind of like the area where they are on the map with the metro going between them. I've talked about this in a previous video. Now, another reason why we know this was because during the CDL Championship, they played a little bit of a trailer and fireworks were going off at Stadium, and down in the bottom left-hand corner, you could see a new metro station. This was kind of hinting towards the fact that they were going to be adding these, and why would they be adding them if there wasn't some sort of subway going underneath them? It's possible that it's just one more metro station area, but I think that would be very rare, and it wouldn't really match up with what we're hearing from the intel. So, what it looks like is that there's going to be various metro stations with a subway going throughout the map. There's also rumors that it's going to link some of the bunkers together, but there's no proof of that. I just thought I would include it so that way you guys know. Now, as far as game modes in Warzone, this is an area that we really haven't got a lot of information. As we're going to see with multiplayer, it's kind of in the same boat. But as far as game modes, the one that we've heard about for a while now is actually prop hunt. So not in multiplayer, but in Warzone, there has been game files found for a giant game of prop hunt. Now, how that will work at this point, I don't really know, but I think it would definitely be a lot of fun and something that a lot of people are looking forward to. Now, multiplayer is where things get weird, because generally speaking, multiplayer is actually one of the areas where we get leaks for first. Now, as far as right now, we know the weapons that we talked about before, those are also going to be a part of multiplayer, obviously. But as far as multiplayer maps, there really hasn't been any leaks. Now, the one map that has been in the game for a while, obviously pretty much since launch, is Broadcast. It's in Warzone, we've seen it before, but it's not a map currently in multiplayer. So I wouldn't be surprised whatsoever if this was a map that came within Season 6. But other than this, there is no ground war maps, gunfight maps, there just isn't a lot of leaks revolving around this area, and it makes me interested to see what's actually going to come here. Now, it is possible that in the next couple of weeks, either this week or next week, we actually get a full title update, and inside that title update, there'll be even more files for Season 6. And of course, if that happens and it gets data mined, I'll bring you guys another video talking about the leaks that we get from that. But as of right now, there is really no big thing with Season 6 in multiplayer, at least as of right now within the game files. Now, if we look at the timing of Season 6 is pretty interesting, because it looks like it's going to start either the 28th or the 29th, at least that week, the very end of September. Now, what this means is it's going to go all of the way through the launch of Black Ops Cold War, because Black Ops Cold War comes out on November 13th, and if this event is 2 months long, it's going to go all the way into Cold War. Now, there's a couple of interesting things with this. First of all, this is going to go through Halloween. Now, generally with Halloween, we get some sort of zombies mode, and right now the rumor is that there's going to be some sort of infected Warzone that is going to happen. This would line up with the whole night mode, and basically what would happen is when you killed someone in Warzone, they'd become a zombie, and your goal is to stay alive, and the zombie's job would be obviously to kill you. It's an interesting idea for a Warzone game. It's been done in other games like Fortnite, so that is another rumor as to what could be happening. Now, the other interesting thing is the timing of it, as I said before. If this goes right into Black Ops Cold War, there's something that they said during the reveal that becomes really, really interesting. Here's what it is.
And it'll be a true evolution, with Warzone not merely picking up where the Modern Warfare climax left off narratively, but also interweaving the themes, locations, weapons, and vehicles of Black Ops Cold War right into the action.
The climax of the Warzone narrative has to happen within Season 6, because Season 6 is going to be the last one before the launch of Cold War. So somewhere along the lines in Season 6, there is going to be some sort of big cutscene that'll explain the narrative between Modern Warfare and Cold War. And I do have some theories about that, and I'd love to make a video about it if that's something you guys would be interested in. But for today, this is everything that we know so far about Season 6. Hopefully you enjoyed. If you did, it's always appreciated if you hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, like what you see, want to stay up to date on everything Call of Duty, make sure you hit that subscribe button, and let me know what you think of all of this down in the comments. But as always, I hope you enjoyed the video. Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, peace out.
We are reaching for the